Whoever you may be, a student or a billionaire, you are a hostage to the global financial system, a system that is controlled solely by 8 families. Today, those families own 75% of the world's wealth. Financial crisis, the fall and rise of currency rates, and wars. These are all simply control instruments of their vast financial game, parts of a master plan that has been consistently implemented for almost 100 years. The history of this domination of the world began with a secret meeting of Masonic Lodge leaders in Geneva on December 21st, 1913. On this day, the heads of 8 families signed an agreement and a plan to establish total financial control over mankind within the next century. In just 18 years, governments of the greatest countries became puppets in their hands. To receive massive profits from arms, food, and medical supplies, they unleashed the Second World War. Why was the war stopped in a few years if it can make more cash in decades? The answer to this question was the Bretton Woods Conference, held in July 1944, where the puppet rulers of the world powers recognized the US dollar as a global monetary standard, along with gold. In reality, it was a grandiose arrangement. The world economy began to resemble a virtual system that is practically based on no solid reference. The only person to realize the full madness of such an arrangement was the French President Charles de Gaulle. He urged the United States to exchange $1.5 billion to gold. The U.S. had to accept this request, and de Gaulle redeemed more than 3 tons of pure gold from Fort Knox. It was unacceptable for the 8 families governing the global economy that any country, at any time, would be able to exchange dollars to gold. It could easily deplete the gold reserves. In 1971, President Nixon, who was corrupted and hated by Americans, performed the reform that ended the direct convertibility of the dollar to gold, but kept dollars as a world currency. It was a fantastic scam, but it went through. From that moment on, money was unsubstantiated. Humanity could have very well simply used ordinary stones for currency and pretended they were actually worth something. The world economy became completely virtual. Bankers introduced more sophisticated schemes to make money out of thin air, which resulted in the tremendous financial crisis, the second wave of which we find ourselves in today. The 8 families no longer understand how the system that they themselves built works anymore. As a result, we live in a world of paradoxes, where both could coexist: shortages and overproduction. More goods are produced than needed, evidenced by the growing rate of unemployment, yet people are unable to consume all of them. Everything comes down to the very same virtual money that is worth nothing. Half of humanity is overworked, while the other is looking for work. And both are simultaneously running for all the new but rapidly aging products, like donkeys chasing after a carrot. Is there an alternative to the existing financial system? Or is the end coming to civilized economic relationships? It was recently predicted by astrologer Tamara Globa that in 2012, a new electronic financial system will be created that is not based on money, but on personal units, linked to people, businesses, and commodities. Perhaps we are already witnessing the birth of this new financial system. Its founders assert that they have carefully analyzed the shortcomings of the current global financial system and that they will not allow the same mistakes to be made in their society. The function of money would be performed by personal units, the rate of which is rigidly attached to gold. Unlike existing currencies that are provided by the Federal Reserve, governments, and banks, these personal units belong to simply the people as the unit of exchange for transactions in their society. Now each member can get personal units in their computer account in exchange for money, and society would invest money in wholesale purchase of quality goods and services for participants. Goods are distributed with no extra charges among members for their personal units. In addition, the society intends to invest in advanced green technologies that provide a clean environment and have great return on investment potential for society members. The society is open to everyone and intends to develop into a worldwide financial system. Nowadays in our world, such technologies are unable to be developed because the existing financial system places the motivation of any person or organization towards profits above energy savings and prosperity development. It is for this reason that oil companies are buying patents for alternative energy sources, declaring them inefficient and hiding them from the public. It is for this reason that new products are developed with design characteristics specifically to ensure a poor service life. How could it be otherwise? If things last longer before they wear, people will rarely buy new products, which will in turn result in a lower income for the producer. The founders of the society assert that a switch to personal units in the commodity exchange would result in up to a 30% monthly income for each member. Is it possible at all in theory? Is this a new round in the development of civilization or the next big economic scam? Only you can answer this question. Visit the website of Evolution of RA Society.